Hello and welcome to Zeke's Creations. Today I'm going to be reviewing LEGO set number 71489, Cooper's Gaming Controller Jet. To start, I'm going to show what it looks like on the box. This is one build. If you look on the back, there are two builds with a base. This is the base. I decided to leave off the stickers because I think some of these parts that I have very few of will be useful for builds in the future. But you can see here roughly what it would look like with the stickers on. And here's a bit more of an angle. But it's a fun little build. It's just a simple gaming controller. It's pretty sturdy, and it's a bit comfortable. Now I'm going to show the first build. This is the first build. But before I get into it too much, this is more what it would have looked like with stickers. And here's another angle. Once again, I just left those out so I can use these parts easier in the future. I like this build right here. I think it uses the shaping of the controller really well. And I like these digitized beams. And these little effect pieces being used as jets. And I really like the color, like this neon yellow color in LEGO parts. I think especially for builds like this, it adds such a cool pop. And I really like it when I get sets that have them. But inside's a little cockpit. I'll just show how a minifigure is seated. This is a minifigure that comes in the set. I'll talk about them toward the end of the review. But you can just place them in like that, lounging them back. And then you have these blasters. These are little functioning guns. They're called stud shooters in LEGO, and you pop one of these in, and then you press down, just like that. I don't want to fully shoot it, because they go everywhere. But add some playability, and then you can also remove these, because they just clip on. And then this build holds on pretty sturdily. I did release a speed build of the set yesterday, so you can watch that video to see how this is built onto the main controller. And now onto the next build, and before I show it, this is what it is supposed to look like with stickers. You can see some on the back there and along the front and stuff. Oh, and actually, one last thing before I do that. This is actually a piece of mech armor. Just randomly remember that. This is a piece of mech armor from Ninjago LEGO sets. And I think this color is really cool for it. And it just works really well. Okay, now I will show the second build. So here's the second build. As you can see, it's a little helicopter. And I think it's a cool little design. Like how well those spin, and I think the part usages are cool. I really love the neon yellow, and I like these little effect, like jet effect pieces. Here they're the same build as the other one, except they're reversed. and you have the blasters on the side, and they also detach just like that. Then inside you have a little cockpit. That's where the control board sticker would be. You do have to orient those right to open it, but that doesn't really matter. That's how minifigure sits in there. So yeah, I think a clever, cool little build. And it does hold on really well to the main controller build. And now to finish off the review, I have the minifigure and the enemy. I'm going to start with the minifigure. This is Cooper, and he has really good printing. He has for leg, waist, and footprint, footprinting, and it's really well done. And then he has this really well printed jacket, and on the back you can see it says built. I really like this dual molded beanie and hairpiece. And then he has that really cool like tech visor. There's a better look at the full thing. And then on the back he has a second face print. And then he has this weapon, sort of a chainsaw built onto this hourglass piece, which can be grabbed in two ways. And you can attach parts to the sides. So here you can just see those, and I really like the color they used on this, like in the center. Yeah, I really like this minifigure. This Theme Dreams tends to get a lot of really good detailed minifigures. And then here is the enemy. It is a cyber brain spider. So it has some posability in all of the legs, and they can all get rotated 360 degrees like that. These arms can go in and out, rotate like that, or rotate like that. So a lot of posability there. And these arms are made with rubber, and this is a piece that I personally haven't seen before, and I think it's really cool and can have some good uses. And then there's this brain piece, which I think is really cool. As you can see, it's just brick and axle connections on the back, and then top and sides are little stud connections. And then at the top, you have a clip holding this tile, this printed tile, which I really like that print. And some people may disagree, but this is actually a legal building technique to put a tile there, not a regular brick. Like, I couldn't take this and put it there. Only tiles can do this. And I think it's really clever use of that technique. But all in all, I really like this set, and if I haven't shown, the instructions have some really fun illustrations that are great for kids, like here, and this, and it has all that on the sides of the build. And so, like, there's detailing around the edges of the pages. another illustration, and then the detailing changes as you're building the Cyber Brain Spider. And then it comes to choosing which one you want to build first, and it tells you the page and gives you a little animation, illustration, another illustration, then the outline of the page changes again. And then that's the end of building that design with an illustration. Another illustration changes the outline again. And then another illustration. And so all the dream sets get these really cool instructions, and I wish they'd do this in more themes. But all in all, I think this is a cool set, especially for kids. This retails for, I believe, $20. Thank you to Miss Kayla for getting this for me. And I'm going to leave a link below for those who are interested. Thank you for watching, and that's all.